Bazil's come back to Cavy Central so we can take a closer look at this area here, which has been an abscess, and it was showing very moist when we squeezed it. He's actually lost weight, and we can tell that by looking at his sides. You can see how he's lost weight. He's got loose skin here. That's indicative that maybe he's not been eating his normal amount and what he normally would. So we're going to just see if we can shave that little area on Bazil. And so no, sweetie pie. I just want to get a better look at what's going on here. And you can smell it already. It's definitely an abscess, it stinks. So we're going to clean all this back so we can really see the extent of it. You can see his nose is affected there. Yesterday he had a weepy yellow pussy eye. We've already started him on antibiotics just to get those on board first. And now you can see how large that area is. You can actually see how large that area is. We're just going to squeeze it just to see if there is, I'm sorry sweetie pie, to see if there's any sort of pus, and there is. You can see that coming out there. I'm going no. So we need to, no. Bazil is a wound. Oops, sorry sweetie pie. Okay, so down the bottom here, we've put some antiseptic on there. We're just going to clean around here a little bit to see. And I think there's a hole there where it's all come out through. You can see there's still pus coming out through that area. When you've got an abscess, you need to make sure that it remains open. Yeah. Check that little nose there. I'm going to wipe. Just wiping out. So this is just pus from the abscess. When it opened, he's probably wiped it in all directions. So we're just going to clean him up a whole lot more. Certainly if we press on and around this area, nothing coming. There's a little bit more pus there. See, it is more up towards the eye duct, but no, I'm sorry sweetie. I really don't like you doing this. There we go. I've just got a wound cleaning agent on there. We're just brushing out the interior, I know, of that abscess area with it. Cleaning it out. And I'm doing it with a Q-tip so I can be very precise, because the eye is very close. We don't want this going into his little eye. But we do want to make sure locally, sorry sweetie pie, locally that we're just cleaning this as well as we can. You can see there is actually a hole there. Can you see it? So it's straight down. That's where the infection has come out, and we haven't needed to do anything. That's all happened. I think that's what has brought him to us, is that he had something sort of snot around his eyes and his nose, but it's come from this infection. His teeth will need to be checked, and the fact that he's lost weight can indicate there's a tooth issue, and given he's got an abscess in this area, could mean that one of the teeth is having issues. So we'll investigate that further, but the first thing we need to do with antibiotics and just clearing this area is getting it open and cleaned and the infection under control, and monitoring his weight so we know he's eating, and then going from there. So that's it for now, guys. If you've got any questions, please put them down below. This actually doesn't sting. What is annoying him is that the abscess area is quite sore. Once they rupture, they tend to be really sensitive around there. So he's a little bit jumpy from that. He's actually got meloxicam on board, but you know, to do this is not something we would consider under an anesthetic, because he'd be even further compromised, and it's not you know, painful on the level of needing to be knocked out for. It's very quick. The abscess itself, he ruptured, he's probably scratched it open. And we're just cleaning that up, and we're going to make sure that that cleans really well for him. Okay, so we'll keep you posted on Bazil and updated in due course. Part of the reason we need to clean all of this from his fur is that it is infected cells, and we don't want them to go anywhere else. So it's just part of cleaning and hygiene. You need to ensure that you can keep that area neat and clean, so we can let the body heal and the antibiotics work and get rid of the problem. Yeah. You'll feel a lot better soon. Yeah. It's quite a nasty little hole there. Yeah. That's nice and open. So if we can get that healed in a day or two, we'll have a progress update. Hi everyone, just an update on Bazil. We're going to check and clear his nose area again. It's continuing to heal on the way out. I haven't reshaved it so you can see everything's growing back, but each time we look, you'll notice his eye. It's a little bit mucky there today, and we're just going to, it's this area in here that is infected, and yeah, still some pus there. So this little boy's still on antibiotics until we get on top of this. Bazil, oh, there's more actually tonight, so this is not good. Pushing him there. Not good, Bazil. Not a good outcome today. The last 24 hours, this boy's been continuing to improve, but he's got an infection right in there, which I'm sure is through to the bone as well. So he's on really good range of antibiotics, and we're having to keep this area clean constantly. And you'll notice that the area that's still got infection coming from it is way smaller than it was a week ago, but it's not yet cleared. I'm just trying to apply a bit of pressure using a Q-tip so we can see. Hey, let me see see if we can express any more pus. We want to make sure it's out of there. So I'm still not on top of it. It was a really nasty infection. Okay, just his little eye. Yeah, today he's sort of dropped back a little bit actually in his progress. Just to clear any muck around there. I know, pressing on this area as well, because it's all connected. It's really important not to get anything in the eye, but the tissue around, we want to make sure that we clear and keep really, really clean. We might actually shave that back a bit so we can, because it's starting to regrow. Using the Q-tip, we're just going to do the end of your nose, Bazil. And so Bazil's not out of the wood yet. I know, but he's a whole lot better. He's gaining weight, and we're going to give him some food now. He can show you how well he takes his food. He's a big eater. Bazil's like glug 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 glug. I'm using a 50ml syringe here, which is easier because this boy will happily take the end off the normal syringes, and this is a pretty nifty way to feed. If you look at the depth on the syringe, we're at nearly 35ml. He won't take that much in a feed, but he loves his food. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and it saves it being so messy as well if you use one of these. With a boy like Bazil that's eating such a lot, it's also a great way to feed this amount of food. Really handy. They won't take the end off it. No risk of that. And he gets a really good satisfying meal. You see he's nearly done 5 mil in that time frame. So despite having this infection, when he first arrived he wasn't eating at all. And Bazil is now able to eat certain foods. He can eat grated carrot. He can eat some grass if it's the right sort of texture, which is good because we need to keep him grinding his teeth. And of course getting a good variety of nutrients while we get on top of this infection. Okay. A bit more. So gobbling down, and we've done now 10 mil in that short time. This boy loves his food. So it depends on the animal that you're feeding as to what instrument you would use. For Bazil, because he really likes to chomp onto the syringe, and the syringe is at risk of breaking. And he loves his food. Look at him. Look, he's swallowing as I'm feeding, like swallowing as we're going. This is a very keen guinea pig. You are so cute. I told everyone you're cute to feed. They wouldn't believe me, and they will. Yeah. But this guy has gained weight, about 80 grams from when he's come in with his first infection. And he's been here now 1 week today, is that right? Yeah, a week yesterday, but yeah, a week. And this infection is a really serious one in the nasal area. So the antibiotics he's on, we really need them to be effective and continue to work. But part of the process is keeping him really clean, keeping him healthy, making sure he's eating, checking that his teeth are all doing fine. So all of these things are going on in the background. Great. Thanks everyone. We'll update you some more later. How are we going? This little area is clearing up quite nicely, but we're going to again just check it and make sure it's clear. It's dried from the inside out. You can see it's really drying nicely now. I'm going to check him over.